Now let's discuss the strategy of paraphrasing. So when you're paraphrasing, you're changing the text into your own words and you're including all the ideas from the original. The first step is to read and understand the text, the whole thing. Don't want to just go word by word. After you've read the text, you put it aside, and then you try to write the information down in your own words. You don't want to just copy and paste because that's going to lead to mistakes. Lastly, you want to compare what you've written down to the original text to make sure that you really did use different words. Because you weren't looking at that original, you may have accidentally picked up some phrasing. You want to have different words and a different sentence structure. But you do need to keep the author's original meaning. So, here's an example of what some books call patch writing, some call find and replace. I personally call this insufficient paraphrasing. The original sentences are, people who spot and seize opportunity are different. They are more open to life's forking paths, so they see possibilities others miss. Notice how this person has just changed out words. Persons who see and grab chances are diverse. They are further exposed to life's dividing trails, and they view prospects others ignore. Now, you may have noticed that the paraphrase version sounds kind of awkward. That's because meaning doesn't just come from the words, it comes from the way the phrases and the sentences work together. So, because the sentence structure is repeated, even though many of the words are changed, it doesn't sound right, and it's also copying too much of the original, so it is considered plagiarism. If you look at what exactly has happened, those substituted words are not exact synonyms, so it starts being a little bit confusing. If we are going to say grab instead of seize, it's more informal. It may deviate from the academic tone you need to be writing in. We can interchange the words opportunity and chance in some situations, but not all situations. For example, we'll say take an opportunity or take a chance, but you wouldn't say grab a chance. That's not common to American speech. In the original, different was contrasted to those open to opportunities, those not open to opportunities. But diverse just makes it sound like there's a bunch of different types of people, and all those types are open to opportunities. Lastly, the word exposed has more of a negative connotation than open. It may imply vulnerability more than possibility. So, what do we want to do? We want to look at the entire passage and try to understand the meaning of the passage as a whole. We want to think about how the information is organized, and we want to try to understand the meaning of each phrase or clause instead of each individual word. So we don't want to just go through and switch out words for synonyms. So this is the original passage. People who spot and seize opportunity are different. They are more open to life's forking paths, so they see possibilities others miss. And if things don't work out the way they'd hoped, they brush off disappointment and launch themselves headlong toward the next fortunate circumstance. As a result, they're happier and more likely to achieve their goals. Alright, so we want to look at this more closely. We'll need to remember that the topic sentence is important. It tells us what we're discussing, in this case, a specific group of people. We want to look at the title. We know this group is people who create their own luck. They are different than other people according to the passage. So presumably the paragraph is going to expand on how they're different. So we can annotate our passage, and here's an example. So the people who spot and seize opportunity we're identifying as the lucky people from the title. If we say they're more open to life's forking paths, I think we mean they're more willing to take risks. And when they brush off disappointment, that means not getting discouraged or upset. To launch themselves headlong, they're still looking. They're looking for more chances. And when we say they're happier and more likely to achieve their goals, maybe that means that they have more positive personalities overall than the people who don't make their own luck. So now that we've looked at the paragraph as a whole, instead of just looking at each word, we can organize our information in a different way than the original author did. We can keep the idea, but use different words. So here's how we can do that. Rebecca Weber points out that individuals notice and respond to life's chances in different ways. In an article titled Make Your Own Luck, she notes that some people notice opportunities that other people might not notice. They are more willing to take risks, and they do not get discouraged if their decisions do not work out. Because they do not get discouraged easily, they are able to stay positive and content, and to continue to search enthusiastically for the next opportunity. Notice how we also have attributive tags here and parenthetical citations. showing our source acceptably cited. So those are the steps you can follow if you find yourself needing to paraphrase. It may sound simple to say, just put it in your own words, but we want to make sure that it is in our own words and that we haven't kept any of the words from the original or any of the sentence structure from the original. And we'll be using our originality reports to help us make sure that we don't do that.